My son hates me and no one knows why. My 51F son, 23, hates me and nobody knows why. I have been a single mother his entire life. I didn't date at all because I didn't want to risk him getting attached to someone, only to lose them if the relationship fell apart. I didn't have any support from his father or my family. I did it entirely alone, but that was okay with me because I had a truly horrible childhood, and I wanted to make sure I raised him in a loving and nurturing home. I've never raised a hand to him. I encouraged all of his interests. I made sure that the home was always a safe space for him and all of his friends, and everyone was welcome and made to feel like they were part of a loving family. All of his friends adore me, and many of them will come to me for advice or comfort. I learned how to bake and cook vegan food for him when he decided to become a vegan when he was 17, even though I am not vegan. I have opened my home to his friends who have needed a place to stay whenever they have not been allowed to stay in their own homes. I feel like in all I have been as supportive and caring and loving as humanly possible, and it seems that every one of his friends feel that way and wish they had mothers like me. But as much as I try so hard to remain caring, he has not given me a lot to work with. He has spoken to me in the most vile ways, even in front of his friends. He completely disregards my feelings, and he acts all put upon whenever I ask him to do something for me. When I try to explain something to him about how life actually works, bills, dealing with property managers, etc., he tells me that I am entirely wrong, and that he knows better, etc. It's frustrating as and exhausting, to be honest. Now here's the part where he actually broke my entire heart, and I just don't like him right now. I will never not love him, but I really do not like him at all. He has been living at home with me this entire time. I've never once made him feel like he has to move out until he is ready to do it. Now he is able to move out, but it's how he is going about it all that has broken me. The lease on our house, which he is on the lease for since we moved in here last year, is about to be up, so he is planning to move out, so he went and viewed some places for himself. I asked him about the places he looked at, and he stood in my room, looked me dead in the eyes and said to me, "I don't want you to know my address. I am not telling you where I am moving to." Now I have been dealing with him making me feel like he hates me for the last 8 to 9 years, but this destroyed me. I said to him, "Wow, you really hate your mother, don't you?" He responded with, "I knew you were going to say that. I don't know why you care so much. If you moved and didn't tell me, I wouldn't care." Now I realistically cannot afford to move, and I cannot afford the rent on this house on my own, so I'm going to need to get roommates in to help me keep this house, so I have been waiting for him to let me know when he is moving out. I came to find out, through his friend who has been living with us for the last 5 years, that my son was accepted for a rental a week ago. My son has not told me. And we all feel that he is not going to tell me that he is moving out until the day he is leaving, even though he knows that I will need someone to move in just after he leaves, so the rent gap can be made up. I want to be super petty and disconnect his phone, which is on my phone plan, and that he has never paid his share of, and kick him off all the streaming services, etc., but I feel like that is just bad mother behavior, so I haven't pulled the trigger on doing that yet. He has had ample opportunity to come and tell me that he is moving out, and he scampers out of the room whenever he sees me coming into a room he is in, so as to avoid talking to me. I am sorry for the insanely long post. I am just hurting and have cried on and off a lot, and I needed to get this off my chest. My son hates me and nobody, including me, knows why. Edit. I failed to add here that his best friend has been living with us since he was also 17, he is now also 23, and he is also at a complete loss as to why my son treats me like he does. He sees everything that goes on in this house also, and has raised his own concerns to my son about how hostile he acts towards me. My son just tends to shrug it off and goes about his day.